Very pleased and delighted to introduce to you our brand new platform, our lovely brand new experience platform, which we've been rolling out recently. Those of you who have been using and know Espresso, let's have a quick dive into Espresso first, so we can have a look and see what that's all about. But before we get in there, just give you a quick overview of our homepage. So over the last couple of years, Discover Education has broadened out enormously from their offering of just Espresso and coding to include some other fabulous curriculum packs as well, whether that's our incredibly empowering pathway program, professional development program, our wonderful STEM Connect project packs, or our brand new health and relationships RSE curriculum program. Those all appear on our homepage now. We have a lovely customizable area at the bottom called My Channels, where you can pin your own content. So all your favorite topics and units you're teaching this term, you can pin them to your homepage for very rapid and quick and easy access each day that you log into Discover Education. And then we've got a recommended area where you can suggest, our wonderful content team can curate and specially curate and suggest resources specifically that might interest you at this particular time, such as our wonderful home learning channel or our activity booster. I really recommend having a look at that. One of the biggest challenges has been getting kids up and active during this time and ensuring that they're getting their 60 minutes a day of physical activity. And our activity booster, our Active Kids Do Better program in partnership with Nike, is a really easy way to get that up and running. So I recommend you have a look at that. But as I said, this is all about Espresso. So let's delve inside Espresso and have a look and see what it's all about. So Espresso provides a fully cross-curricular digital platform for primary school. We have something for pretty much everything that you want to introduce, but we're not just about the core curriculum or the supplementary curriculum. We broaden out the whole of the primary school academic day to include things like current affairs and topical affairs, to include browsing subject areas of interest to individual pupils for independent research and learning. We support home learning. We bring in the latest technology through things like augmented reality, and then some. If we jump into our Key Stage 2 homepage, you'll see that we've got wonderful things like the daily challenge. These have been incredibly popular throughout this year. We've always had these in the service, but what we've tried to do through this period of remote learning is flip them a little bit to turn them into kind of practical, creative tasks that the pupils can work on independently at home. Often things that they can just take a photo of when they've completed it and post it back to a teacher. So we have 5 thinking style questions for each for Foundation, Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2. You can rotate through all of those at any particular point in the week. You can tweet them out to your parents, you can put them on your learning platform, you can take a photograph and send it by email, whichever you wish, but those have been really popular. Just something you can add to your remote learning timetable or your blended learning timetable. A nice quick and easy win for your day. I'm going to jump into the calendar picks now, because this is one of my personal favorites at this point. So calendar picks is our topical look at the year. We've always had an Espresso calendar. They've been incredibly popular and often pinned up in the staff room, but this time we've gone digital. Really exciting resource. So this is our overview of the year. We've got something for pretty much every day of the year, whether it's Talk Like a Pirate Day, World Space Week, or most recently drilling down into January and February. I think we've had just past Safer Internet Day, which was just a couple of days ago. And tomorrow, anyone doing Chinese New Year? Let's have a look at the Chinese New Year resource. So this is what's built in our studio board. These studio boards are our brand new creative tool for teachers to create their own content and for pupils to create their own content as well. And it's also what we build the majority of our content in the Espresso platform for. So these calendar picks are designed to be a one-stop shop, a very quick and easy introduction to the classroom for that event that's taking place that day. So typically you'll find some media, images or video. You might have a strategy to engage with that, teaching strategy, very quick and easy teaching strategy you can weave in with that little piece of media that you've got there. And a context around it at the top, and then as we scroll down through the page, we'll break it down often into different key stages with the discussion points you can bring into the classroom. We've got whole channels and digital resources, whether that's videos and images and interactive activities that you can tap into there as well, and of course cross-curricular links, and we'll often include cross-curricular opportunities and writing links in there as well. So that's our wonderful calendar picks. Absolutely love calendar picks. I mentioned Video Zone. This is one of those areas that we point directly at students, at pupils, for their independent learning, and this comes through our brand new Learn, Create and Explore section. This is all designed with pupils' independent learning in mind, whether that's just appealing to their areas of interest, or whether that's looking for areas of extension work for topics, or just personal research projects. So let's dip into Video Zone and have a quick look. These are all themed according to highly engaging topics for children. They're presented very much towards the children, with less focus on the curriculum links, but you can see they're all there. All of the videos that we introduce here are based on very strong STEM or science subjects. So really great content to bring into the classroom for independent research. And then one of my particular favourites is time travellers. This is something, an area of history I've always been passionate about. The tendency is, with history is to deal with them according to national curriculum in isolation, in the isolation of civilization. So we look at the Vikings, then we move on to the Romans, and we move on to another civilization. What we've got here is more of a longitudinal overview of history, and being able to trace themes and threads through different civilizations. So in this case, we've got a whole section on homes, buildings and settlements, whether that's Saxons, Egyptians, Romans, Greeks, etc. We've got a whole series of resources that stitch those themes together, and we can take those all the way through signs, symbols and text, faiths and beliefs, and tools and machinery, and even daily life as well. So that's just a really lovely way in which we recurate and re-look at our content in Espresso and try and present it in creative and imaginative ways to our pupils. Okay, as we scroll down, we've got, of course, our core content, our English and maths and science, which we're probably most known for, whether that's our wonderful phonics for early years and key stage 1, or our grammar and punctuation modules that we have for key stage 2. Generally speaking, some of our most favoured and popular resources. Spoke a lot about the news. This has been central to everything we do at Espresso for many, many, many years. We've had a relationship with ITN for ever since Espresso launched. And each week, our production team, our content team, work with ITN to unpick 4 news stories from that week's news, generally 4 news stories that will have some kind of curriculum relevance, a way of weaving them into their learning, if you like. They'll be presented by a well-known face to the children from Children's TV.
Hello, I'm Lily. Welcome to Espresso News Bites. Coming up this week, spacecraft enter Mars's orbit. Young twins write their own book for charity. Jaguars return to the wild in Argentina. And Sign to Sing takes place across the UK.
So there's a little sneak preview of our news service. And of course, to support that, each week we bring out a picture of the week. We have a News Bites quiz, 20 questions, so the children can test themselves on that week's news. That's, we see some very passionate videos of this taking place in classroom. And then we have an in-depth look at some of those news stories as well. We'll tease these out into longer format videos. Typically, each of these videos will be sort of 5 minutes long for Key Stage 2, shorter for Key Stage 1 and Foundation, obviously. And then we believe that the news is so important. Current affairs, topical affairs are so important and can be such a powerful tool to be used in the classroom. We utilise those resources in all sorts of different ways as well. So we archive all of our news stories so they can be woven back into curriculum teaching. So if you're teaching about weather in science, for instance, you can go into the learning from the news channel on climate and environment, and there you'll see a whole series of wonderful videos supporting the teaching of climate and environment. And you'll see the same presented for other themes and topics as well. And also we believe that fundamentally news is so important, such an important tool in developing literacy skills, that we've got a whole module on using news and newspaper for developing literacy skills as well. And of course, teacher area and teacher guidance and support too. So that's a little bit about some of our kind of broader content. I'm now going to take you into a channel, so we can see what a channel looks like. Channel is what we used to call modules in Espresso, what a teacher would probably call a topic, if you like. I've just used our brand new visual search tool here as well, so you can see what that looks like. I've searched for the topic of rivers. Actually, if I'd spelt it wrong, I'd have got a spell check and it would have prompted me to click on the right word, so that's reassuring from your pupil's point of view. But once we get into the search, you can see that we've got filters So I can very quickly filter for a key stage, and I can filter for a resource type as well. So if I just want to find a video, I click on videos. And if I just want to find an information board or an interactive activity, I can click on those as well. Okay, so let's come back to the beginning of that search and have a dip inside a channel. Okay, here we go. This is what a channel looks like. So a channel is a collection of resources, pretty much everything a teacher would need to teach this particular topic. In this case, it's a geography topic designed for Key Stage 2 on rivers. So we display these as different digital resource types. So at the top, you'll get the videos. The videos are very tightly aligned to the national curriculum objectives. This is where all of the key information, key vocabulary, key knowledge and context are presented through that particular feature and function through these video content. Then as we move down, we have activities, quiz activities, drag and drop style activities to check their knowledge directly related to the videos. We have texts for wider reading. These are built on our studio boards, our creative tool that I mentioned earlier. So these are designed predominantly initially as teaching resources. So they can be used on a whiteboard or shared or assigned with your pupils for them if you're doing remote or blended learning for them to read at home. But a teacher can very quickly make a copy of a board. And once they've made a copy, they can begin to edit that board. That means if they want to change some of the content or adapt it or differentiate it for their pupils, they can do very easily. If they want to add new content from their own sources, perhaps they found their own video that they want to include, they can upload that from their device. They can search for further content from Discovery Education. Or they might just want to put at the bottom of the page a simple question and answer box. Type in a question prompt, and then you've got an interactive resource that could be sent to the pupils, assigned to your class for them to respond to and send back to you. All of that happens with our magic buttons on the top right hand corner over here. First of all, I'm going to click on the share button and give you some idea there, some little hints, just conscious of time as well. And I've got a lot more to get through, so I'm not going to delve in too deep at this point, but notice that you can have people collaborating. So you can have 3 or 4 pupils working independently on this particular resource from home, each sharing the same resource and each contributing towards the same project. I can show a little bit more about that if I click on the assign button, where I've got an option there to make that collaborative. That could be collaborative across the whole class or just small groups. I might want to allow them to edit the board, which I certainly do in this case, and possibly bringing a bit of chat functionality as well, so that I can allow the pupils to talk to each other whilst they're working on a project. That's something I can completely control, turn it on and off as a teacher. It's got profanity filters in there to check for the pupils' language, etc. So you can be safe in knowing that it's a really safe environment for them to work in, and teacher can obviously jump on that conversation as well. I set a due date. I give it a point scoring system if necessary, any instructions I want to add to that, and then I can assign that to my individual groups or my whole class. Select all the pupils and off we go. That's now dropped into the pupils dashboard as an assignment. They get a notification, they have an assignment to complete, and they can go in and finish that assignment. Just while we're here, I can show you the chat functionality. You get nice little flags or bubbles, if you like, from each of the people chatting to each other. You will see the names underneath, so the teacher gets full view of who's taking part in that conversation. When they're collaborating on the board, you'll see little initials appear at the top. The owner of the board will be at the front, and then the initials of any other pupils collaborating on that board will appear alongside it, so you can see in real time exactly who's working on that individual resource. Okay, so that was me jumping through, sorry, taking a few steps ahead, looking at some of our teaching resources and showing you how flexible they are, how the teacher can take them and turn them into their own resource and adapt them themselves. Then as we move down the page, we have printable resources, including triggers for our AR resources. In this case, we've got a wonderful water cycle. So you can have a beautiful animated modeled interactive example of a water cycle that you can bring onto the tabletop. I've been using these in remote learning, actually, using a screencast and sharing these out with my pupils as well. There's always an extensive image gallery in all of our channels. What we do now from all of the research is that the most powerful way to teach in the classroom is an image combined with a teacher voice. Hence, you will always find extensive image galleries, and usually at the end we'll have some sound files as well. Those might be sound effects. that we use to get children immersed in a rainforest experience, or there could be just music that you want to put on in the background while they're doing a creative writing activity. Okay, so that's what a channel looks like. If I click on teacher area, you'll see there's extensive support for the teacher as well. So we have resource guides. These are really designed for a teacher who's maybe new to a topic on rivers, doesn't really know what rivers is all about, and they need to find out a little bit more. So we have a breakdown on the topic, where it fits into national curriculum, the individual area lessons that they could be teaching, the resources that are available to them there as well. So if you like, each of these is a little mini lesson plan. We don't provide lesson plans for teachers. We believe teachers are best to structure their lesson plans and schemes of work, but we go as far as we can without taking that last little step there. Okay, so that's a little bit about the resource guide, and then we've got the topic guide as well, which we were hinting at earlier. This gives us the background information to understanding where it fits into the national curriculum, etc. Sorry, I've just clicked on the same one twice. There we go. This is the rivers overview. Okay, so this gives us a detailed understanding of what and why we are teaching that individual topic. Okay, we're coming to a close shortly. A big part of what we have in the platform is the functionality at the top here. So very briefly, just talking across the tools that we have, whether you're browsing for content in a number of different ways, by subject, by searching, or just looking through the key stage content, there's lots of different ways to interact there. Then we have our teach tools, our purple teach tools. My content is your online storage, a bit like your Google Drive, your Microsoft OneDrive, where you can upload your own content to use seamlessly alongside Discovery Education content. You can share resources across the whole school, including student studio boards, etc., people's studio boards, so that those can be celebrated by the whole school. And if you're across a mat, those can be shared across the entire mat as well. So that's a little bit about that. Studio is our brand new builder tool. We have a massive update coming to this tomorrow, where we're going to be adding the ability to be able to embed open-ended questions, quiz questions, video response questions, and have all those tracked, monitored and graded and marked by the teachers as well. We have an assessment tool, very like Google Form, where you can build very quick and easy multiple choice quizzes. And then finally, Google Classroom is what underpins all of the teaching tools, where you have full overview and monitoring of your pupils' work. You can literally see all the details of the assignments taking place, who's completed it, what progress they've made. You can often bring up a data dashboard with their quiz scores if you like, etc. And then one of the killer features in all of this is the ability to select any of your pupils and actually log in as a pupil and see exactly what's been going on. You can view their assignments, you can see assignments set by other teachers, etc. So you get a really good overview and interaction with all of those resources. I'll just quit that impersonation now. Okay, so a very, very rapid run through the Discovery Education platform, our new experience platform, which houses all of our fabulous curriculum content. I hope that's been useful. There are lots more tutorials and guidance available for you in our help center, and lots more support in service. If you want to know more about the platform and you subscribe, please look at our Getting Started with the Experience, Espresso and Experience. And if not, you can visit discoveryeducation.co.uk and see some more advice and guidance on how to find more information about our products and services there.